Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Berniston Select Board meeting for Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. This meeting is being broadcast live on BNC TV and live streamed on YouTube. To find BNC TV on YouTube, go to youtube.com and search for Berniston Northfield Community Television. This meeting will be available for later viewing by following the link at thetownofberniston.org. You can also watch channel 1075 on your Comcast dial in Berniston. First up tonight, we'll go through the warrants. I'd entertain a motion for the payroll warrant in the amount of $90,001.18.
So moved.
Second.
And I'm going to ask for some clarity from Sue. You want to come up so Tyler can, on the police department payroll piece.
Sure. Hi,
How we doing? Welcome.
thank you. There's some significant overtime in the payroll dating back to fiscal '23. When we entered an agreement with the town of Leiden to have our police officers cover Leiden, the agreement includes a stipend for those police officers, and it's always been paid on an hourly basis. So whenever the team had overtime, that piece of the stipend was never included in their overtime pay. Only their Berniston hourly rate was included. And we realized this a couple of days ago and researched it with the Department of Labor. I had a phone conversation with them and they said it should have been included as part of their rate for OT.
Okay.
So this is just the portion that wasn't paid to them at those times that they had earned it. Fiscal 23, 24, and 25.
Okay.
There are a couple of officers who are no longer with the department, but when you owe wages,
Your wages.
you owe wages. So,
At least we know they're local, so they're not too far away.
yes, yep, indeed.
Okay, so anybody have so many questions while Sue's still here?
Does this include the Leiden portion as well as the Berniston portion, or is this all on Berniston?
Well, it's all on Berniston because Leiden pays us an agreed amount.
Yeah.
So the OT that's reflected in here is just on the hourly stipend that's considered Leiden's portion.
Oh.
But we are getting no additional money from Leiden. We've already received the money from Leiden.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my understanding that Berniston foots all of Leiden, then pays their portion of the agreement, whatever that is.
17%.
17, yeah, that's what I thought it was.
So why wouldn't Leiden be on the hook for 17% of this?
Because we have an annual agreement with Leiden for a set dollar amount. And that set dollar amount is to cover all of the wages and other expenses that are included with policing Leiden. We don't bill Leiden per payroll.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, they are on the hook for it, but it's part of what we've already received
received.
from them.
Okay.
Everybody good?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
You're
All
welcome.
those in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Okay.
I'd entertain a motion for the FY25 vendor warrant in the amount of $1,361,962.76.
So moved.
Second.
Just
I was
a,
waiting for discussion.
just a little follow-up on that. That includes the April and June Pioneer Valley Regional School assessments. So of that 1.3 million and change, $1,284,858.80 goes to Pioneer Valley Regional School. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would entertain a motion for the FY26 vendor warrant in the amount of $186,145.40.
So moved.
Second.
And we'll follow up on that. That also includes the FY26 Franklin Regional Retirement System assessment of $162,445 and health insurance payment due on July 1st of $16,896.25. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Entertain a motion for the regular meeting minutes of June 11th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Any corrections or deletions?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'd entertain a motion for the emergency special meeting minutes of June 12th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll get on to calendar and announcements. The Efficiency and Regionalization Advisory Committee meeting will be Thursday, June 26th at 5:30 PM at the Town Hall. The Berniston Planning Board will host an open forum on Thursday, June 26th, 2025 at the Berniston Elementary School cafeteria from 6 to 7:30 PM. The open forum is to provide an overview of the open space and recreation plan and gather community input. If you can't make it, your voice still matters. Please take the 5-minute survey on the town website. You can access the survey from the homepage at www.townofberniston.org. For questions, please contact the planning board clerk, Jennifer Moore, at jmoore@townofberniston.org. The transfer station and town hall offices will be closed on July 3rd, 2025 in recognition of the 4th of July holiday. Cushman Library will be closed on Saturday, July 5th in recognition of the 4th of July weekend. There will be no regular select board meeting on Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. So the next meeting will be held on Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. Family and Community Event Planning Committee event. They will host their first event, the Movie in the Park at Cushman Park on Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. The event will start at 7 p.m. with live music and the movie Jumanji. It will start around 8:15 p.m. The event is free, but donations are welcome. Details will be available soon on the town website. Are there any citizens' concerns not already on the agenda?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Transfer station's gonna be open on Saturday?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. We'll be open on
July
Saturday
5th.
5th.
Yes.
Yep. Good question, though. That's
Thank
a good
you.
point. So no citizens' concerns that aren't already on the agenda. Everybody's on the agenda, I think. So we're going to invite up Liliana LaPrade, who wants to come talk about the Berniston Elementary School pollinator garden project idea that she has. Welcome.
Welcome.
Good start?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. So for my civics class, for our final project, we had to take civic action for an
They just want to capture you on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
issue in our world, I guess. And we either had to raise awareness on that issue or make a policy change. Like, the issue I wanted to pursue was the, hold on.
It's okay.
No problem.
Take your
You're good.
time.
Raising awareness around the importance of bees and pollinators in our environment. I want to build a pollinator garden at Berniston Elementary School in the back courtyard.
And I know you've reached out to the
Yeah.
principal,
Yes.
Principal Burstein.
She said it was a good idea, but she said I needed permission to make changes to the school grounds.
And you do have, I know you said you had a family member that's a master gardener that's going to help you
my
do some of the
mom.
work. So that's good. Anybody have any questions for her?
Sure. How big is this garden?
I'm planning to do raised beds in, were they 12?
4x8, I think.
4x, and I have some already, and they're 4x8 because my grandpa's a carpenter and he has one. And he has one.
So how many of these 4x8?
Starting with one.
Starting with one.
Okay. And what are you going to put in the 4x8?
Flowers are still, well, pollinator flowers for bees. Perennials, so they come back each year, so I don't have to keep planting more. And then probably late bloomers, so in the fall, when the kids come back, there can still be a bit of a garden there.
Very nice.
Any questions, Brian?
I have no questions.
No, I think it's great. I know Brian was talking to you earlier about it. I think it's a great idea.
Do you have a map or give me some idea where this thing is going to go? In the courtyard, you said.
The back
It's like
courtyard.
there's a back place. I don't really know how
So
this works.
out back of the school is where the preschool and kindergartners play. It's called the courtyard. The preschool and kindergartners play out there daily. So my only concern would be exactly where you put this, because that is where they do play. That's their recess zone. They play out back there. So maybe could you put it towards the moon tree or something?
Yeah.
Because the other side of that, it is their logs, their bricks, and then there's like the kitchen outdoors. They do play in that area. But
Is
years
it a-
ago, there used to be multiple gardens there, and then they got away with them
This is on a slant?
on the
The back?
back side. So if you're looking at the, where the art room is, that's the back courtyard.
It's actually, you're looking at it when we meet and have our maintenance
Right.
meetings out back.
Straight out back.
That's it.
Yeah. Usually
behind
That's
our
the back
back.
courtyard.
And you got what grade kids are playing back?
Preschool and kindergarten are out there daily. That's their recess zone area.
And how are you gonna tell the bees to leave the kids
I don't know.
alone?
I was just saying maybe put them near the moon tree, because the moon tree is, they don't
Far enough
play-
away that
Yeah.
And I would go with
that's
Principal
further up
Bernstein's.
on the hill?
Yeah,
The principal must pass.
Yeah.
of course.
She'll have good recommendation for you, I'm sure, where to go with them. Any other?
I think it's a great
It's a
idea.
good idea.
I was telling her before the meeting that I had read up on stuff like that, and I was shocked at some of the statistics I saw and how little each of us really have to do to, on our own property, just to
Increase,
the-
yeah.
the population.
That's right.
It really doesn't take a lot. If everybody did it. It would take a lot if nobody did it.
I'm not
But if
being-
everybody set aside a 8 by 10 square piece of their property that they don't mow and just let it do its thing, plant some perennials like she said.
We need more bees?
You do?
Yes.
Yes,
Why?
absolutely.
You ever been stung?
Definitely
You
on
like
decline.
do you like your fresh
Right.
fruits and vegetables?
I do.
They don't happen just because, you know.
You know, but they happen because my wife plants them.
I will say from a staff zone, like looking out that back window, it would be nice to have something to look at. All we get to look at is a tree and the birds, so if there was some flowers, it would be nice.
Yeah, I think it's a
Can
great
I ask
idea.
a question?
Sure.
So when you're done, do you have to provide, like, how do you close out your project? Do you have to, like, back at school, do you have to turn something in next year? Or, like, I was just curious.
I'm done with school. I'm just doing
Yeah,
this because
you're just, okay,
Yeah.
I see. I thought it
You
was a
haven't
civics
even
project meaning
started
that.
yet.
Okay.
There's a lot of school ahead.
Continuing, okay, got it. All right.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't
Excellent.
think we need to make a full motion as long as we agree to, we give you full support, whatever
Yeah,
you need
go
from
for
us.
it.
Yeah.
Funding?
Um,
Who's gonna buy the flowers and the bed and the,
I can buy the flowers, right? And we were looking at, Miss Burstein told me about some groups, like the Greenfield Gardening Club sometimes give grants for this kind of thing. And I can buy the flowers.
Okay.
we had the men's club in Berniston, was interested in doing something similar to this, right on the edge of the pond, behind the library. And they were looking for grant money. I don't know whether that was the stumbling block, but
I have the information to that place too. I
Yeah.
can send it to you. It's the state level agency that recognizes these kind of projects. So I'll send you that link. Now that we're kind of connected, I can do that. I'll
do you
send
have
you that
a sense of a
information.
budget, how much money you're gonna need in case somebody wanted to step up and write you a check?
I mean, not yet. It's
Okay.
still kind of a work in progress, but
All right.
Well, do you have an idea of when you're gonna start this project? Only because I'm at school for 7 weeks, so if you would like some little helping hands from campers to plant flowers, they would
Wow.
probably love to plant flowers with you.
okay.
See?
That's cool.
We got labor.
Free labor.
Since,
All right.
This summer.
Yeah, this
summer,
summer.
for sure.
Not too hot.
Yeah, probably really soon. When I want to
Yeah.
start.
And you said you were done with school. Where are you going next? PBRS or?
PBRS, yeah.
Okay.
You're an 8th grader, right?
Yeah, I'm going into ninth.
Going into 9th grade.
Nice.
All right.
Jane?
And you said your
Yes,
grand,
uh,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to suggest that lots of people are dividing plants, and maybe somebody would like to donate some perennial that they're dividing.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody's watching this, or they could reach out to Karen Kelly and she could hook you up with Liliana to, if it's anything that would work in that aspect. It's a good idea. A lot of people do that.
Well,
Then
good
you won't
luck,
have to
thank
buy
you.
it.
Yeah, good
Yes,
luck.
good
Thanks
luck.
for coming in.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for
Thank
doing
you.
that. Next up, we're going to have Peter
Thank you
Johnson.
very
Peter,
much.
come on up.
Oh, thank you.
How's it going? Good. Okay, so give us what you're thinking of doing over there. And I don't know if you've talked to Jen Stennis yet personally or not.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Yeah, so I'm the athletics director at Providence Christian Academy in Greenfield, and we don't have an athletic field at our school, so we're looking for a place to have our soccer team play for the fall. Is the
Okay.
basic idea.
So you're looking at weekdays, is that?
Yeah, during the
pretty much
week,
what it says?
probably every day of the week, for 2 months or so.
And you're looking at one field, correct?
Yeah, so I think the biggest field is at the end of the driveway, I believe. Is that a
Jen knows it better than I
Jen,
do.
you want
That's
to
why
come
I'm
on
looking
up
at
to you
Jen.
to enjoy the conversation?
Jen, she's the rec director
Great.
for the summer program, and she's on the rec committee in town too, so she knows everybody's schedules and who's in there when,
Right.
typically.
Right. Yeah.
So how big is your field, I guess, is what I need to know. How big of a field do you need us to make? That's my first thing.
A standard soccer field, right?
Because, so our biggest ones we do are 120 by 180s.
Yeah, that's big enough.
Okay,
What age group is this?
Middle school.
okay. So if I make, so this year I'm making 3 of those sizes for our fields, and then I have some other smaller fields, so you could just use one of those.
Yes, yeah, that
Okay.
would work. Yeah.
Because your hours probably don't overlap,
What
right?
time would you be there?
About 3:15 to 5:15, something
Okay.
around there.
Yeah, so we wouldn't, our people were usually rolling about 5, but that's okay, because I can make 4 fields if we need to.
Yeah,
This,
plenty of
this
room.
is a practice, or these are games?
So I would want to use it for both.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And-
when,
Parking? How are these kids going to get there?
Hopefully we'll have a school vehicle to transport them there for our events. But if we do have a game, there will be more people showing up,
And
obviously.
it looks like about 20 students on your
Yeah.
end of it, plus
Yeah, I
another
know.
team of about the same size probably.
Yes, yeah, I wouldn't think we'd have more than 20 there. So yeah.
and are your games during the week, or are they the weekends?
During the week is the plan.
Okay.
Still scheduling the games, but it would be during the week.
Is there anything on the weekends? Or is it just
I-
Monday through Friday,
Yeah.
all for 2 months?
I have not planned anything on the weekend. I don't
Okay.
think there will be anything on the
Okay.
weekends.
Does
Yeah.
the time frame from the end of August to the end of October affect your jamboree time, just on that one weekend?
Just that one weekend?
Which is, do you know the date yet? Or
No, we haven't set that. I haven't had a Tri-County Board League meeting.
And Jamboree was like in November last year. but it was
No, I
too
would,
cold.
yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
It runs between Halloween to like that time frame.
Jen holds a soccer jamboree over there annually. It's
It's
becoming an
a
annual.
million kids.
How many teams were at it last year?
50 teams came in.
See?
It's a pretty cool little round robin.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
our town alone, we bring about 100 kids
Wow, that's awesome.
in this town of Berniston.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's a weekend jamboree?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Insurance? Health insurance, somebody gets hurt?
Yep, yeah, through the school's insurance, we can do it that way.
And they can provide, they'll
Kids-
provide the,
We can
Kids
provide
sign
that
some kind of
certificate.
voucher, parents sign
Yeah,
some
yeah,
kind
they'll
of-
sign that for the school anyway, so we provide
Right.
that for you and attach you onto
Yep.
that.
And you're gonna provide a porta potty over there for the
Yes,
time
we can
frame
do
of
that as well.
yeah, there has to be
That's
there the whole
very
time you're out
expensive.
there. So the restrooms that are out there aren't operable.
Okay, all right, yeah, we can do that.
Silly question, but why Berniston, not Greenfield, if your church is in Greenfield?
There's not much field availability in Greenfield.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you
That's
think
great.
why do you think we hold the soccer events?
No,
Nobody else
I've-
has got the room.
They
I've been
really
talking to
huge
the AD
field.
of Greenfield High School, and he's doesn't have much available. So.
Yeah, it's a huge
So,
field.
They got a big
When
field.
when you drive into Pratt Field and you go the dirt road, it's been in the past that this side is the like T-ball section. Those are some of our bigger fields, and then last year up top was the older kids field. It might change. It might be the lower field. It depends. The second week of August, it depends on when I have my meeting, how many teams, and that regulates or shows me where I'm going to put my teams. But there'll be enough fields for you to play on along with our teams. So
Yeah, yeah.
It might not be the top lot, it might be the bottom.
I don't care as long
Okay.
as I can get a full size field. Yeah.
Okay,
But
and
it's
then
best for
we
you.
have huge nets over there, so you're welcome to use them, because once they put them in place, we don't move those.
The full size goals.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What about lining the fields?
I take care of all that. That's
Yeah,
done
that's
every
great.
every other week.
I was planning on doing that, but that's, yeah.
If you want to go by and help her.
If you want to, or donate
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, you should
Something.
exchange phone numbers
Yeah,
for
yeah, I
sure.
should.
Yeah.
I was just
Make
gonna
sure
say.
you have her
We've
contact
been,
info.
we've
Yep.
been emailing, right? Is that?
No, that's me.
That's
you.
Karen.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah.
What about mowing, maintenance, anything like that?
The highway department takes
That's
care of
highway
that.
department. I don't have anything to do with that.
And I
Yeah.
think
So
that's
this-
late enough
they-
in the day. We'll just have to give Brian a heads up.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
usually there
Yeah,
in the
they're gone
mornings.
by, yeah. The mowing's
Well,
done in the
they
morning.
mow that field later in the day just because they,
Closer to home.
Yeah,
yeah, there's
I'll,
less-
once I know what's going on, I'll make sure the coordination's done with the other departments
Yeah,
on what,
just-
on that kind of thing. And I'm glad Jen's here, because Jen definitely need her,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
her information, you guys can keep
Yeah.
talking about the details.
Well, maybe
Right?
you can forward Peter Jen's email contact, since you have his.
Yes, I can, yes,
That'd
of
probably be
course.
easiest.
You don't mind Jen giving him
No,
your cell and all,
absolutely. No,
okay.
it'll make life
I will do
easier.
that, Peter, for sure. And then we're clear on the porta potty, so it has to be,
Yes, we have to have a porta potty.
first
yeah.
day you're out there, there has to be a porta potty out there, and then it stays the whole time, and you're, it's on you guys to pay for
you have some
that.
kind of medical person trained?
That's
At
on
my
that, the
camp?
school
Yeah.
does that.
Yes,
That's for, you talking about summer camp or
Yeah.
yes.
soccer?
Would this camp, does the requirements carry over to something like this?
No,
No,
No.
no.
It's
That's a school, not a camp.
his school covers his kids.
Yeah, sorry, I
He's
don't.
just using the
But do
field.
if you're putting kids out there every day for a camp, for
That's not-
something,
This isn't camp.
I'm camp, he's school.
okay?
Two different,
Two different things. I'm summer camp. Mine ends mid-August.
I'm just, I asked the question
Oh.
of you as in what your requirement is, but does that not carry over to this?
No,
kind of
sports
activity?
is totally different.
Okay.
I mean, at ours, there's usually somebody there. But if somebody else is using it, that's
Okay.
what their waiver.
And what about the farmer that's bringing his animals down to the fields?
No, he
He's done?
he hasn't, it wouldn't affect it. It's
Yeah, he
over.
stays in the park.
Yeah, he stays in the park
In
area.
the big rectangle.
There might be
Okay.
sheep out there at some
That
point, but
doesn't
not
matter.
where you are. so. No, I already talked to Mark Dupree about
That's
that,
what
and
he's
he, and Brian knows too. We've socialized this a little bit,
Yeah.
but waiting upon the approval, I'll make sure everybody's good to go.
Yeah.
But I did, the school has a waiver liability, has the school, this is a school program,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yeah,
like the
official school
medical
program.
and all that stuff kind of falls on the school, even though, and then we have the insurance, the town has insurance at Pratt Field for things as well, but you're gonna add us to your certificate of insurance
Yep.
and our town's name has to be on it.
Okay.
And then,
I'll email you with that and
Yep,
make sure that
yep.
it looks okay and follow
yep,
in
and
order
then
with that,
there will
yeah.
be no security deposit then, since they're doing the
No.
restroom.
Right.
So no security deposit,
restroom's gonna be
Peter,
costing
us.
just
Okay, thank you,
make sure
yes.
you pay for the rest, the
And if you wanted to donate
the
some
porta
paint to
potty.
Jen, I'm sure she would take it gladly.
We go through a lot.
The experience we had over the Memorial Day weekend where the fields got torn up because of, was for a huge crowd,
Yeah.
not for
Yeah.
40 kids. Parking for those, you have some place where you would put those cars?
There is a parking lot when you drive in, and then currently at Pratt Field, all the soccer benches are in a circle. Someone can drive going over there anymore, but when soccer comes, they will get moved. So I know that we need to look at something to make it so people won't drive all over the place.
Right.
We could communicate that to him.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay,
on
we can
site.
talk about that. when
Yeah.
we go to the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and then again, everything is in the usage form that says he knows what he's responsible for. If he
Yeah, it's all
damages the
signed.
field,
Yeah.
he's got it, right, Peter?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
so,
I've got it here and looked
Yeah.
at that.
So you need a motion? You need a
Yeah, do you have any other
Yes.
questions for us first?
Yeah, where do you want the porta potty?
You
so,
want-
Jen,
put it next to that
do you have
building,
comments
or-
on that?
I
For
do.
the,
Would the company know, like, has they
No.
put them there before?
Who are you going with?
Probably Bosley.
They've come before. They've dropped some.
the gravel, maybe where on one of the corners of the gravel parking lot, maybe.
We put them on the back side of our other bathrooms, and that was
Is that a
okay.
good spot? Okay.
Yeah.
Compared to where his field's gonna be though?
It'll be in that area, and it'll
Okay.
be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should, you guys could
We can talk.
finalize that too, Peter. with
That's where we
Jen,
put
where
them for
that
the
should be.
jamboree, and that was really good.
We just had the race there, that's why it's in my brain.
Okay.
And the porta potties were on that gravel parking lot for the
Yeah,
5K, but
yeah, it's way down.
yeah, you know where to put it. All right.
Where is the Providence Christian Academy?
So we're at what used to be the Greenfield Alliance Church on Chapman Street.
So it is that.
Yeah, it's that building there.
Gotcha.
Across from Sanders, really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who was it that was telling me that there was going to be a school there? I forget. This was a couple of years ago. But you're now up at. You guys are using Kiwanis Park for something, right? Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's just the church that's doing it.
I don't know. Yeah, I just started the school, so they could have
Oh,
been
okay.
using that for something. I'm not aware.
I
of it.
got you.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, just another question. So
It's okay.
the goals have nets,
Yes.
and are there corner flags as well, or do you
Yes.
provide those?
Those are always out. Once the field's made, they stay up.
Okay, great.
I don't take them
Thank
down
you
to
so
the
much.
jamboree unless a sheep's come along.
Now, it's the sheep come along and knock them down.
Yeah.
That happened before.
Yes, look for a motion then, Ken, yes.
Yeah. Move we approve the public use application submitted by Peter Johnson in the Providence Christian Academy based on said conditions.
Second.
Any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So just you two communicate it.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
We'll muddy the waters more than it's probably worth.
Yeah.
I'll send you an email and we'll keep talking until we get, yep.
Great.
We'll
All
take
right.
it, Jen.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thanks for coming in, appreciate
Want me
it.
to move? You want me to stay?
You might as well stay. You're next up. Jen,
Yep.
the
Come
new
on up,
recreation
Kelsey.
assistant. Jen's here for an introduction for us. Go ahead, Jen.
So this is Kelsey, and she's replacing Cindy because Cindy retired in May. So we did an interviewing, and Kelsey is now going to join us in July.
Nice.
So she'll be in the office at least one
Here?
time a night, so parents can come in and meet her and do registrations, ask questions, so we can finally have an office open at nighttime again.
Sweet.
So you'll need access to the town hall?
So,
Yeah. I received all her paperwork
Okay.
today, and yes, she'll need keys. I started the email process. You saw that
Yes, I
email,
did see
so
that.
we're doing our onboarding as we speak.
Do you have some sense of timing, when first you start and then your evening hours, what they're going to be?
Yeah, I think we talked about Wednesday evenings as of right now. I work over in Keene, New Hampshire, so about 40 minutes.
You work?
Work in Keene, New Hampshire, so
Oh.
about 40 minutes. So I leave work around 4:30, and I'll come right over here. Not sure how long I'll be here in the evening, but
You figure that out, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Great.
we figured Wednesdays because you guys are always in here and everybody else is in the office, and then if we had a set day, then parents could always come in and then they could always come to a select board meeting.
True.
Her start date's effective July 7th, is what we
Yeah.
decided.
So you're going to give her email, whatever else?
Yep, I started all of that, yep. I'll
Perfect.
get her, I'll make sure she's on, has everything she needs administratively. Yep.
Cool.
Good. Welcome aboard.
You want to do your top line there?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I would entertain a motion to. I'm sorry. I move.
Okay. You're okay.
I move to appoint Kelsey DeAngelis as the recreation assistant effective July 7, 2025. You want me to read the rest, or are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a part-time position, no more than 19 hours per week at an hourly rate of $19.60 per 66 cents per hour. Boy, that's tough. Per hour.
Second.
Any other
Say
discussion?
it wrong again.
$19.66.
Is that what predecessor was on books
I'm not sure.
No idea.
Yes,
I think so.
yes.
Any other discussion? Any other questions, Jane?
for? No, the reason I asked that is because that's how the budget was
Budget
set
would be,
up.
right.
It,
Yeah.
It's based off whatever she turned in and you approved.
Right.
Or we approved at town meeting.
Well, not the last one she turned in. I have no idea what that says because it was too late and we didn't accept
Well,
it.
let me have the packet.
Something in my
Which
budget.
packet?
The stuff you all signed, can I have those folders?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
right in there.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Thank you.
Well, she's looking for that. Your
Well, we know, if it's wrong. I
expertise
don't
in
wanna
Excel?
deal with it.
that is what I do in most of my daily work in my current job. So
Okay. Good.
Easy. Look at
Yeah.
Any budgeting experience?
I also do that a lot during
Life is
my 9
really
to
good.
5. Yeah.
Okay. And you live in town?
I
No,
do not.
she doesn't.
From Massachusetts, but not from town.
1966 on the.
Ken was just going to try to
Susan's
recruit you to the
form.
finance committee. I see that coming. I see that coming.
You live in town?
Yeah.
No, she
You're gonna
doesn't.
mail this
Do you
master
want to buy a
plan.
house?
I see Jane perk up for a second too.
I already knew she didn't win.
No.
Darn. Okay.
Any other discussion over that motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You still,
Nice meeting you.
Kelsey, she's trying to get you to move in town. Jane needs somebody on her team.
and you're still here, John.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm going to entertain a motion to appoint the following individuals as summer camp staff for the FY 25-26 Berniston Recreation Summer Camp Program effective June 23rd, 2025. Do you guys want me to read the whole list? Or
Can
you
we
okay
just
if we don't?
do one
Yeah,
of those
no,
things?
yeah.
Can Tyler
Yeah.
see it? Jen's making sure it's right. Which way?
Technically, Jen was already appointed, but Josh was.
I'm gonna keep moving it on you now.
Braden's off. Braden's not listed on that list.
It's really,
It's the only one I don't see.
So where would Braden fit in on this?
she might have added some counselors that I don't have here. I don't know.
We
This is what
gotta make it an official list, so we gotta.
Braden was his last name.
Tippinu. The T-S-I-P-E-A-K, and if I spelled it wrong, I'm so sorry.
It's right here.
Yeah,
Under-
the
under the payroll
payroll
warrant.
has their names.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, it's BT.
You know where it is better than me, or?
You go to the
Okay, so I
payroll.
live real close.
Wow,
I knew he would know.
look at that, huh?
Yeah.
He's going to have the
Yeah.
list.
So many times.
He'll have the list.
Everybody else is with
Everybody else was on it, though, you
Yes.
think?
Yes.
Is Harley on there? Arch?
Harley's not on there,
Yeah.
sorry. Harley Archibald.
T-S-I-P-E-N-Y-U-K. First name is Braden,
Yeah.
B-R-A-E-D-E-N.
And then Harley Archibald.
And Braden's salary is $14.16.
Harley's-
Archib- and Harley
is
Archibald, A-R-C-H-A-M-B-A-U-L-T, and he's $12.88.
Yep.
Anybody else?
I think that was the only two.
You're sure?
Now that I'm looking at it, that's all it looks like.
Okay.
How many there are?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yep,
5,
that's right.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
And then we added two. Jen,
Okay,
right? So, sorry about that.
Okay.
There's a couple I missed probably.
We're good.
but-
we recovered.
All right.
Okay, so we're good
So
to,
moved.
Second.
any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I guess you're good.
We're
Unless
done
you have
with
more
you.
for us.
Okay, so this week, we started off with a bang of 65 kids week one.
Wow.
So huge numbers. This week, we walked to the library today. Yesterday, we did some tie-dyeing. Monday, we did our annual fire drill. The kids do it every Monday. We go over a lockdown drill. We go over a shelter-in-place drill because for the past 2 years, we've actually been in shelter-in-place due to wild animals. One time was a bear running down School Street. Last year, we had a baby raccoon in the dumpster.
During the day?
During the day, yeah, so we had shelter in place. Jimmy called me, he's like, don't let the kids out, there's a bear loose.
Chief Palmieri?
Chief Palmieri, yeah. And one year we had to do a shelter in place in the gym because there was a tornado that touched down in Keene. So we had to be safe.
I remember that.
Yeah. So
I
we
bet you
do,
remember that.
we do like every Monday we do it because there's a new group that comes in every Monday. Not every kid stays. Our lunch is being provided by the Gil Montague Regional School District, so every kid gets fed for free, or they have the choice to bring their own home lunch. It's included in the fees. Today, they walked to the library, and everybody but 5 kids got a library book. They're the only 5 kids who either weren't going to be around, they didn't want to return a book, or they don't have a library card. So that's really huge from years past. And the kids got from anywhere from a Sweet Lucy's gift card to a Town Line Creamy, or there was other toys for them to pick as they got their book. And then they'll read. Today they did reading for a half hour. And either you read to a little kid or vice versa, or the counselors will read to them. And then we did a bike parade. So the kids brought their bikes to school, and they're in the gym currently, and they decorated and they made license plates for them. And then tomorrow, the police department will be there, and there'll be a huge rodeo from 9 to 12.
Nice.
Nice.
And then they'll take their bikes home.
So on a miserably hot day like today,
They walk to the library.
And we went in the morning,
okay, and I saw you guys out there.
and then they got to enjoy the nice pond. Next week when they go, they get to do a scavenger hunt. One of the weeks, they're gonna go upstairs into PI's museum and check it all out, see what there is.
It's good.
They're gonna walk to Town Line Creamy one day, not on a hot day. They'll walk to Sweet Lucy's. Let's see what else we got. We got some other fun stuff up our sleeves. K-9 units coming.
Water?
We have a water slide we build. It's 90 feet long.
Oh.
We have a sprinkler. We're taking care of the moon tree. So the kids who help take care of the moon tree get to earn a badge by Amy Van Doren, because it's her tree. They do arts and crafts every day. So, yeah. And
Nice.
board games.
Nice.
Good.
And registrations look good for the rest of the summer?
Yep.
Nice.
Awesome.
Week 2 is closed. We're not taking any more for next week. So, just a small week. So,
No, it's right, the holiday.
yeah.
Nice.
Good.
Well, thank
But we
you for
still have
that.
openings for our other weeks if they want to come and join us. So,
Perfect.
and soccer,
This year is going to be how many weeks?
7 weeks.
7.
Yeah. And then soccer registration opens July 1st for the fall.
It's come quick.
And they would talk to who? Kelsey?
Kelsey?
Or
And online.
Or
online?
online, or they can bug me at camp and I can give them a hard copy registration form to return to Kelsey.
There you go.
As of July 7th.
Right.
Right.
They can stick in the mailbox still.
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Sound like
Thank
you're off
you.
to a good start.
Yeah. Keep up the good work, John. All right, next up, we have new business. Berniston appointments to the Franklin Regional Council of Government Boards. So the first one, the Franklin Regional Council of Government's council appointment. Its primary role is to oversee the projects and activities of the FRCOG, adopt policies, develop and endorse FRCOG's annual operating budget. The council meets on the third Thursday of the new quarter. The first council meeting of the new fiscal year will be held on Thursday, July 17th at 5:30 p.m. The next position is the Franklin County Community Inspection Program Advisory Committee appointment. That primary role is to provide guidance on budget, policies, and fee schedules for building inspections, plumbing and gas inspections, wiring inspections, and zoning enforcement for the member towns in the Franklin County area. The advisory committee meets quarterly. The next one is the emergency manager and response coordinator appointment. Emergency management director focuses on all hazards response planning in order to minimize risk to people and property in the town and region. The next one up is the Cooperative Public Health Services Oversight Board appointment. The Oversight Board reviews, debates, and endorses an annual proposed budget, provides guidance to staff on town policies, review and approves any fee structures. The Oversight Board meets the fourth Thursday of the month.
And that would be, provides guidance to staff on town priorities.
Priorities, what did I say, properties?
You said policies.
Policies, okay, thank you.
I don't want people to
No,
think that they have
that-
any influence on our policies.
There you go, that's a good point. Okay, so I would entertain a motion to reappoint Ken Bordeweek as the FRCOG Council Representative, to reappoint myself, Brian Keir, as the FRCOG Council Alternate, to appoint Peter Shedd as the Emergency Manager and Response Coordinator, appoint Brian Keir as the Franklin County Cooperative Inspection Programs Advisory Board Representative, appoint Barbara Colleen as the Board of Health Representative and Tricia Earl as the alternate Board of Health Representative.
So moved.
Second. Am I in conflict of interest? Do I get to?
Yeah, we probably got to split them up, right?
Oh,
So how
doing
about
a
first,
package deal.
if I would entertain a motion to appoint Ken Bordewick to the FERCog Council Representative?
So moved.
I will second that. Any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstained.
I will move that we appoint Brian Keir as the counselor, FERCog counselor alternate.
So, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I will entertain a motion for Peter Shedd as the Emergency Manager and Response Coordinator.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that we appoint Brian Keir as I lost my line, Franklin County Cooperative Inspections Program Advisory Board Representative. That is a long title.
Yeah, it is.
Second. Won't fit on a business card.
It won't fit on a business card. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Entertain a motion for Barbara Colleen as the Board of Health Representative and Tricia Earl as the alternate Board of Health Representative.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I think we were all good.
Good.
I think so.
You're all just in the same position.
Right.
You're all already on them, so you're just
Do we
technically
gotta get sworn
reappointed.
in, or?
Huh?
We don't get sworn in.
What?
Do we get sworn in to these
COG would,
roles?
No.
COG would
No.
have to do
The
Okay.
that.
FERCog will handle that.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
gotta turn your names in. I
All right.
don't, then we'll see what they do with
Next
you.
up, we have an appointment for the second temporary seasonal summer hire. I would entertain a motion to appoint Braylee Birch as a temporary seasonal summer hire for the Town of Berniston Highway Department, effective June 28th, 2025, at an hourly wage of $17.50 an hour, not to exceed 8 weeks.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That was the second one we were waiting for the paperwork
Yep.
to get completed on.
She's the second and last.
So he's full now. He's got the
He's
two.
got everybody he needs, yep.
Next up, we have an appointment to the Local Cultural Council. I would entertain a motion to appoint Samantha, I'm going to mess it up.
Bacchini.
Thank you. To the Local Cultural Council, effective June 25th, 2025, for a 3-year term.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
An appointment to the Council on Aging. Entertain a motion to reappoint Kathy Pravecchio and Leah Gibson to the Council on Aging for another 3-year term effective July 1st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody have any old business that we didn't have down? Any business unknown time of posting? No. Jane, what do
Come
you
on
got?
up, Jane.
You always try to get away from the camera. Tyler's got to get you.
Well, you see, I went behind the post.
Well, from that far back, you're as loud as the air conditioner.
What's
Okay.
happening, Jane?
Well, we have to have financial discussions.
Okay,
Um,
we love those.
Well, the zoning board, I'm gonna cover up his mic. The zoning board is over their spending limit on their reserve fund.
Interesting.
You know, reserve funds are set up with a spending limit regardless of how much money, I mean, they
Yeah.
can put as much money as they want to in that account, but they can only spend either up to their spending limit or up to their balance, whichever is lower. So, the zoning board charges a fee, and they have to have a hearing, and their limit has been $1,000. So this year, they went to $1,074. So in discussing that with everybody, first of all, I went and looked at the accounts and made sure that there were no wrong entries, that they really had spent it, done that, and they've been reimbursed by the individuals involved. But in talking to their new clerk, I found out that they've increased their fee. Their fee used to be $225.
Doesn't even cover the paper.
Right, doesn't it?
They
Well, in
record
fact,
it,
I have
right.
that right in front of me. The bill to publish it in the paper is $226 or $296. It runs from $226 to $296. So obviously, it doesn't cover it.
Right.
So they voted at their last meeting to increase their fee to $450. So now we need to increase the spending limit on their account. And I looked up the Mass General Law, and we, Finance and Select Board, are allowed to reset a limit. We obviously will need to get it into our bylaw vote next annual meeting, but anything that comes up, you know, in between, we can do changes. So I've been toying with what it should go to, because if you figure $450, well, if we left it $1,000, they could do 2 hearings and they'd
That would be
be in trouble. I know that right now they have 2 hearings already scheduled for July. So when this first came to Finance's attention and we discussed it, it was left kind of to me to make sure that the account was okay and that that was really true, and then to come to you and say we want to double it or whatever. But I'm going to have to go back to Finance and say doubling's not enough. And so I was thinking, you know, if they have 6 hearings, is 3,000 enough, or should we just go to? We do hit other criteria. I mean, our revolving funds can only be 10% of what we assess in taxes for the total of all the revolving funds. I don't think we're close to that. I should have checked that out, but I didn't.
Yeah, probably not.
And then each individual has limits that they can't go beyond that are set by law, besides this limit that we were talking about. And I think that's 1% of the net assessed valuation, taxation.
I mean, you two did hearings in May, June, and now you're going to have one in July, right?
Yeah.
Did you do some previous to that, to May?
No.
No.
I mean, that's just these guys.
I can tell you there was
On
one
that board.
last
I think there's
October.
probably 2 more.
This is when the bills went through the account. Last October, in March, in April, and in June.
Yeah, so they're.
So there must have been something
Two-
in October that we didn't,
that
they
you
didn't
have
need
to
us.
participate in,
They didn't need you,
Yeah,
right?
they didn't need you to meet the quorum. So that's what they had this year.
And
So,
then,
so that was how many, 4?
I
4
think,
at 450 is 2,000 right
well,
there.
they either had 4 or 5.
Okay. 2,500. Safe side.
I think they had 4.
Is there any reason to be conservative in this? As in,
Well, it's not going to cost the town anything.
right?
It's setting a limit so that, you know, you control what's in the revolving funds, that you don't just let, I mean, every committee could come in here and say, I want $25,000 revolving fund, and where would we, you know,
Right.
what would we know about what was going on then?
right.
So I don't know.
You have a recommendation? 5,000? Is that too much?
I was kind of leaning towards 5,000. If you figure 450, or I'm sorry, yes. What did I tell you they raised it? 450.
Yeah.
6 meetings puts you at 2,700.
Right. I just was rounding to 500 and saying, you know, you get 2 out of every 1,000.
Yeah. Seems reasonable.
Do you need a motion? Do you need a joint?
Well, I think we can, I don't think we have to sit jointly to do it. I think we can each take
Okay.
our own full, but if, I'm kind of leaning towards, if we go to 5,000 now and come annual town meeting, we find out that's way too high.
You can change it.
We
Yeah.
can change it. But I think it's something that as long as we're not anywhere near our total limit, 5,000 is not unreasonable. That's,
And you
you
said
know,
the
the other
total
way to
limit
look
was...
at it is 1 hearing a month.
And they're typically taking that money in anyway.
Yeah, the money is, it isn't costing us
Right.
anything.
It's the
an in
applicant's
and out.
money.
It's like all the revolving funds. They are supposed to be self-supporting. However they're earning their money, it goes in there and they use it for whatever they said they were going to use it for.
Yeah, the congregation.
So, 5,000?
5,000, yeah.
I'll make a
Sounds good.
motion for 5?
Do we need to do it with the finance, or we do our?
She says we can do it
I think
separate.
we can do it it says we both need to do the change.
Sure.
It doesn't say we have to be
You
in the
scheduled a
same
meeting,
thing.
select board meeting for, just to approve the
And your
transfers
transfers, yes.
on the 17th
The
of July?
14th of
14th.
July.
Is the finance committee going to be there at that meeting?
No,
No.
I will be there with whatever.
yeah, she's,
has to
yeah,
be-
Okay.
right.
Has to be.
But it's not a
done.
joint meeting.
Gotcha. That's good. All right.
I
So I'll
talked
move
to
that
Jane,
we
yeah.
Set-
raise the spending limit. In
Revolving?
the revolving spending limit in the zoning board.
ZBA.
The ZBA account to $5,000.
Second.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I have one other
And we're going to
revolving
remember to
fund.
put that on the annual
Yeah.
meeting?
You should make a note
Well,
of that
this-
for the next warrant, town meeting warrant too.
Yeah.
I'll be letting Elizabeth know tomorrow that this is $5,000 because we voted on Monday to increase this, and they left the amount up to me. So I will
Okay.
confirm the next time we meet. I'll confirm with that.
You know, it has that chart, Karen,
Yep,
in that- in
we
that
got a
warrant
chart,
item,
yep.
with the whole bunch of different accounts that have a
I
spending
understand,
limit.
got it, yep.
It's
They'll
not
just
just
be-
that. We're going to have to change our bylaws.
Right.
Boy,
need
if we
to
had
do that.
listened to Mr.
We have to-
Lepore,
Well, bylaws establish revolving funds. It didn't used to be that way, but then the state legislature decided that that's how we should do it. So we established that, and then they changed the format for how we're supposed to do it. So then we had an amendment to our bylaw, and that's what's on the books now. So we'll get this one, you know,
Started.
I'm pretty sure, I have to check again, but I think even when we increase the amount, it's only for this year, and we have to amend the bylaw to increase it. Maybe not.
could we do that at a special town meeting if there was to be a special town meeting?
Bylaw changes?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So stick that in your back pocket
But
just
I'm,
in case.
yeah, I'm
trying-
not sure that we have to do, for that, I'm not sure that we have to do a
Like a
bylaw
fall.
change. I gotta look it up. I
Okay.
think the bylaw requires only that we do the name of the fund, where the funds are coming from, the purpose of the funds, who's authorized to spend, and then the amount stays with the annual town meeting. But if we just pick up the chart from this town meeting, we won't have the 5,000 in there, so we have to be
Right.
careful about that. Then I have a request from the Family and Community Event Planning Committee. That it's not, they're asking for a revolving fund of $5,000, but I don't have all the details on that yet. And that,
I sent you the email.
I
Yeah.
got the email,
Okay.
but I don't have all the details. It was a nice email, but it's missing a couple things.
Okay.
I already responded to you. And you don't have to vote on this tonight. You can put it on your agenda for next time, or you can vote tonight. Because we don't want to establish it tonight. We want to establish it. See, we're making a new revolving fund, which we, the two groups, are allowed to do if we see fit for the year. So if we did it now, it would end next week.
Okay. What could they possibly want $5,000 for?
Well, because they are planning on doing events, and they're going to ask for, they might charge for some things, or they might just ask for donations for things, like the movie night, they'll just say, you know, it's free, but donations are welcome. And so they need a place to put those, otherwise, by law, they would just fall into the general fund. And they would like those funds to go into a revolving account so they can use them to pay the expenses of that event and
Going
to
forward, yeah,
have
that's a
it
good idea.
for next time.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can,
We better wait till the next time, huh?
Yeah.
next meeting. Because then
So it's in the
July.
next
Then it's
fiscal
July.
year, yeah. But that's July 26th or
And the
something
meet,
like that.
yeah, and
Third.
their event's the 23rd,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
guess.
So what I,
Well, can we do it, but not to start until July 1st?
that's what I
So
would
why not,
recommend, that you make a motion to effective for fiscal year '26, that a revolving fund be established for the Family Community Event Planning Committee.
So
And you're-
and you said I gotta go back, hold on. Your event. Karen.
Jumanji.
Movie in the park, and it's in the announcements.
Oh, it's July 23rd. Oh.
Yes,
See, they want to put a notice on
the flyer.
the flyer. They want to establish on the website that you can donate there. So if you're going to donate there, there has to be
Place to put it.
a pot for it to go into.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Otherwise, as I said, it goes to general fund. And they wouldn't like that. But I think you could move that effective July 1, there be a revolving account for. And if I'm wrong, they'll slap our hands in one.
That's right.
What was the amount requested?
5,000.
Is that a realistic number that they're going to need?
Well, they think that the free movie in the park thing,
Yeah, the movie in the park event is up to $2,500, renting all the stuff and getting everything ready. And we secured that money through donations from people. So
You've got those donations?
it's paid for, yep, we're good.
Nice.
So my point is, right there, so that would be,
see, that's a problem already because it's,
Ethically, we don't want to.
well, okay, but you have to
That's what-
start somewhere.
For
It's a new-
sure.
You know, people are trying to help the committee. It's just a personal
right,
donation.
we should have, this should have been requested as soon as the committee was formed because they knew they were going to do this.
Well, we'll get it started now.
Anyway,
So I'll move it effective fiscal July, fiscal 26. That we have a $5,000 revolving account. Spending limit would be 5,000 or?
the spending limit would
Okay,
be
spending limit
5,000.
of $5,000 for the, go back and
I
look
know.
at the name of the account.
Get
Title
the
Family
word right.
Family and Community Event Planning Committee.
Second.
Okay, I think since we're establishing a new one, we have to do the whole thing. So,
What do you
need a
need?
second. Time out. One of my comments back to you was that you said the revenue sources were going to be donations from individuals, businesses, and partner organizations. You didn't mention program activity income, and I think that should be added.
Okay, we can add that.
Okay.
It's true.
Do we need the finance committee's approval on this as well?
We'll vote, we have a meeting scheduled for July 7th, and we will
Perfect.
vote the same thing. I think you can, you want me to come around and look over your shoulder? See where I said, this is what I interpret? That's what needs to be in your motion.
Amend the emotion.
And the spending authority, you didn't tell me either. Should that just be the committee? Many of the revolving funds just say, like,
The director?
well, no, some of them say the director of, some of them just say zoning committee, council on aging.
It would just be the committee.
Committee, yeah.
Okay. And that's in my notes that way. Just the top portion. is-
Yeah, I know, I'm just formulating the wording here now, so to amend the motion so the fund name is Family and Community Event Planning Committee.
Nice and loud.
Yeah, you gotta talk up, speak up.
Sorry, the Family and Community Event Planning Committee would be the name of the fund. The revenue source would be donations from individuals, businesses, partner organizations, and income from program activities. Is that right? Okay. The use of the funds would support family and community event planning committee activities and celebrations. The spending limit of $5,000. The authority to spend, this is usually,
And it's usually just the Moody name again.
will be, designation will be named,
Family and community.
well, I'm looking at the, who gets to spend it. This-
Committee.
The committee.
Okay, the committee. So,
You
all
can
right.
just say the committee.
Okay, the committee. Sorry.
That's it.
That's it.
Second.
My motion.
Any other discussion?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So now once you guys do it,
We'll do the
we'll
same.
be able to do it before your event.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll,
Clean up that motion on the paperwork.
I will.
I think it's kind of laid out in
It
that
is
format.
laid out there, yes.
yeah. Well, she can pick it up from my,
Yeah, because she responded to my, I just didn't see it before I came here. So.
actually, I was answering you. That's why I was late coming down.
That's it?
I can make a prediction for, so what is gonna happen? You folks have to sign off on transfers between accounts on or before July 15th. Finance Committee is hoping that we're gonna do our sign off on July 7th. Maybe that's ambitious, but that's what we're hoping.
I think we have a meeting scheduled for the 14th.
July 14th, Monday.
And so far, I know of 2.
It's not bad.
Anything huge, earth-shaking?
Well, the snow and ice stuff is, the biggest one. The highway payroll is another.
Do you think you could get your committee here for our meeting and make it a joint meeting?
Well, we didn't discuss that.
Well, I know you're meeting on the 7th, but maybe
Right.
push it off in case there is that last minute.
No.
Okay.
The last warrant is the 7th, right?
The last warrant is the 9th.
Okay, but on the 7th, I will know.
Okay.
I mean, the warrant won't have been signed, but all of the accounting work will be done, and
Yep.
Elizabeth will be on the phone fast. If there's anything we haven't already discussed. And that would have to be, somebody's out there spending more than they've got left.
Right.
But that's why I didn't want to do any of these transfers between accounts until the end, till
Yeah.
the real end.
So you know the number.
Because I don't want to do one and then have to come back and say, oh, we got to move some of the money back.
Right.
Remember the year we had to do one for 5 cents?
No, before my time.
I can't remember why that was. Oh, it was, yeah, I do remember. Doesn't matter. Anyway.
All right, well, thank you, Jane.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
Thank you, Jane. Appreciate
My throat is
it.
getting fatter.
Karen, what do you have?
Okay, well, I talked to Capital Strategic Solutions, Blythe, Robinson today about the solar array project. Remember, there was an interest by the fire chief to see about solar arrays on top of the town buildings. So we talked for about 20 minutes, and she told me that Massachusetts towns can work with organizations like, I don't know if you ever heard of it, Power Options, and solar developers like Solect Energy to develop solar projects. And these 2 companies are in partnership with the state of Massachusetts to the point where the state would procure the services, and everything would be done in coordination with the state and then these 2 companies. Now, the Power Options is the company that, Solec Energy develops the solar project. There's a company like, I'm so sorry, I'm not good at explaining this, but one of the companies executes the amount of energy, I guess, and then there's the one that builds the system for either the ground or the rooftop. So this requires a town meeting vote too. To anytime articles related to solar power needs town meeting vote. because you'll be leasing town land for solar development or adopting specialized net zero building code. So Blythe had stated that this would, if we're going to go that direction, it would require a town meeting vote. It's something along this, the same lines as a municipal aggregation program, which the town had done before, right? Didn't you guys have a aggregation program, right? So it's the same thing. You would have to go to town meeting and ask approval before you even got involved into this. Also, the amount of solar, it has to be 50 kilowatts. The rooftop would have to be able to, you know what I'm saying, 50 kilowatts is the
pretty
minimum
big.
amount. But you could do the 50 kilowatts, let's say, I don't know how many solar panels that is, but then you could have a ground solar array, for example, you know, in the back or something, to get to the 50. They won't even touch us if it's less than 50.
It's big.
So if you're interested, I guess we could take the next step of just having someone come out and assess or whatever, at no cost, obviously, and then go from there.
Yeah.
But again, we can't really do anything till we decide if the town residents want to do it.
Well, we'd have to do a lot of research before we ever got to that.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly,
If
right.
it's even feasible, what's it gonna cost?
Right, right.
Those kind of things.
Right.
Before we even bother going to
So it's
town.
possible, but it requires a lot of work. So I'm not sure, so we want us to keep moving forward with it, or?
Yeah, if we can get a free, come look at it thing.
Yep.
They may say, yeah, no, nothing's big enough, nothing's good enough, nothing faces the right way.
And who's the person in charge of this? Would it be me to do that then?
If you don't mind.
Okay.
You would give it to the Green Committee.
Well,
The
we
Green
could,
Committee,
but
I mean, right.
She's there to answer the phone every day.
All right. Okay, and then the
The
next.
intent is to put this on the roof of the new fire department?
Either or. Yep, the tent was, this all started with the fire department, the new fire station in mind. They got the big metal
Little
roof.
shed on the back
Right.
there.
Yeah?
The shed on the back.
Right, and then we talked about, there's the highway and there's the police department,
Right.
and they have a great location for a ground array, maybe, if if you think about it. But again, we wouldn't be deciding that, the contractor would, but there's certain things that we need to see if we're even a candidate for it.
Right.
Right, because these three buildings, see,
Yeah.
here on Main Street, they all have the slate roof, so you're
Right.
not going to put solar.
And I don't think you'd put 50 kilowatts on the, I really have no clue what 50 kilowatts is, to be honest,
good
but I think it's
size.
pretty big.
Yeah.
So I would think these buildings are out,
We don't want to mess with this building. It's
No.
already sinking as it is.
Right, we don't need anything more heavy.
We got to mess with that.
And actually, I should say that I think Blythe, if we did move, Blythe will take this. She can execute this too. We just have to, so I'll go back if that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All
But
right.
she's not free though.
No, she's not.
But
But I need the help. I would need the help with that,
Okay.
you know?
Did you say that the solar, I forgot what the rest of their name is, that they do the evaluation?
No, what I'm saying, it would be a package deal. She had stated that the state of Massachusetts partners with Power Options and Solect Energy.
One probably comes in and evaluates the site.
That's it.
Designs
Thank
the
you.
system.
Yeah, exactly.
And then another person comes in to actually build it.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering if the evaluation was free to the town.
That's what we're gonna find out.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna find out, and it would be someone from Solect Energy
Yep.
would come out and do the
I
assessment.
know they'll come look, and then
Yeah.
if you get into some design
Right.
work, that's different, but.
Correct. And then, and then the thing about it though is that the state handles the whole procurement piece, so.
Yeah, so it's like a state bid thing,
Yeah,
like.
and
the
she
highway
also
goes
talked to
through.
me about the grants, there's grant applications for it as well. A lot of it comes, because Massachusetts has its SMART goals for going
Right.
green, so there's a lot of, it's a project for sure, it'll take some time, but we'll see if we're even eligible, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, and then the last thing is, I'm really glad everyone's here. The Board of Health, as you know, Dave Powers resigned, so they still have a quorum with Tricia, and Barbara Clean, and Deb Delabrew is a associate member, and we worked through the questions about that, so they're cruising along with Deb's doing the witnessing, but they're having a meeting on Tuesday, July 1st at 3:30, because they are going to begin an assessment to look at whether the Board of Health should transition septic services to the FERCog. So I really think it's important that a select board member's there, and I talked to Jane earlier today about someone from the finance committee being there as well. You know, some of the things that we're going to talk about is what does it look like if we do this? You know, what's the service and delivery and efficiency going to be like at the FERCog? You know, what does CPHS have the capacity to pick up the town's work? And is it going to take 8 weeks to get your septic inspected? Because, you know what I mean, we got to look at a lot of things. Plus, I'm going to do a cost-benefit analysis to show what the revenue. Right now, the revenue for 24 fiscal year 24 and 25, the fees that we brought in was $9,000 and some change in 24, $7,000 and some change this year so far. And then that money is what was used to pay Deb or Dave to witness the perk tests and so on. So anyway, we just got to take a look at a lot of things, and I think the Board of Health will be there. Randy and the FERCog will be at this meeting. Hopefully, someone from the Finance Committee, and again, I think a town official from the Select Board definitely should be there.
Is that 3:30 you said?
3:30 on July 1st.
July 1st.
Here at Town Hall. And then, and to be honest, I guess I was thinking that this was something that, you know, we just close up shop and transfer everything to the, you know, but it really.
You can do that.
You can do that. And Randy said that we could stand it up next week.
Yeah, and a majority of the towns do that. We're an oddball.
Yeah. So, but I think it is, you know, the residents are so used to us. I mean, we should probably put a little thought into how it affects the town.
See, we've been spoiled by Dave Powers.
Right.
As long as we have a person like a Dave Powers that's as available as Dave Powers and as willing to work with the contractors as Dave Powers, meaning, hey, I can only meet you at 5 o'clock in the morning. Dave goes and meets him at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I think Deb's ready to do that, but
right.
the town.
As long as we have a person like that.
But
the day you don't, you're forced to go to the COG.
It's not only that, they need a
do
Board of Health clerk if they're going to continue doing it. Right. Because that's the other piece that can no longer assist the Board of Health with if they're going to keep the septic services, they need to hire a clerk.
Yep, for sure.
And they wouldn't need to do that if it
went to the FERCog.
Right.
When is Dave's retirement effective?
He's 30 June, but he came in yesterday and turned in his keys.
Yeah. That's why I saw him.
He's out. He's done.
Okay.
And so there's things that we have to. They you know, between Lou and I, we've been helping the Board of Health, you know, for all these years. So someone needs to do the administrative work that
and that's a piece that needs to go into that discussion on the first.
Right, exactly.
Because it's not fair to you what you're doing now.
And
That's my opinion.
it's probably 10 hours a week.
Oh, easy.
Board of Health work on top of this job.
Yep.
And it's okay for a while, but then it just, you know, it just keeps creeping up.
Is there a reason not to go to the COG?
I think some people will make good points about the people are worried about the deliveries, the service delivery system. We're hearing. I've heard that it takes six weeks to get a.
Well, that's what the COG will have to explain to us.
Right, and Randy
I don't
will be
believe
there.
the 6 weeks, but
Right.
if Randy says that, I believe him.
And then
Are they going to be there?
Yes.
On July 1st?
Yes.
Yes.
Randy and Kurt Schellenberg will be
Yep.
there. There's a concern about the services.
Yep.
There's a concern about within, you know, I think the health, the witnessing that Deb does now. Everybody needs to have a good understanding about the town's not going to lose any money.
We don't make any money on it.
We don't
Everybody
make
needs to
any.
understand
This is
that.
all
We don't
through
make a
the
penny.
revolving fund.
Correct.
It comes in and goes out.
Exactly. And there's a case being made like, oh, the town is going to lose all this money, but that's not true. We need to clear up the fact. We need to get the facts on the table.
The COG has said before, we can call the COG tomorrow, start with the COG the next day, we would pay $0.
That's correct. And then, but what does it look like next year? Like Jane had pointed out. Okay.
It's going to be totally paid by the fees. There's so much septic work in this community, along with everything else that they do for us. It will, I guarantee it'll pay that.
We want
fee.
Randy to say that in the
Yep.
meeting, though.
Yep.
Because
And
there's
he
a
has-
concern that
He has
is
before,
true.
the previous boards.
Yeah, he has. I know it to be true too, but I don't think not everybody's believing it.
No, I
So
hear you.
we have to get everybody that
Yep.
needs to be in the room,
Yeah, we
and
can
then,
hash it out then, yeah.
and whether Barb, now, and then who, is the approval authority for something like that the Board of Health?
For what?
To move the services to the, or doesn't it involve the select board too, or no?
No, because we pull your service away from them, what are they gonna do? We're floating their bill for you right now.
Yeah, it's actually $10,000 a year to pay for a Board of Health
Yeah,
clerk,
you're
and they
not-
haven't done it.
We
you know.
take nothing from their fees to pay
No.
you.
Right, so, no, but do you?
Well, if they wanna play hardball like that,
I don't
we
think
pull
they
you-
would.
We pull your service away and they can figure it out.
I want to know if the select board's required to vote on moving the services, or is it
Yes,
just a
I
Board of
would-
Health?
I would
clerk?
say yes.
Okay. So
We
we
would
need to-
definitely go with what they want.
They
to
are
do.
not the regulatory board over that, or
They probably are, but it's
What is it
money.
for-
It's
Oh.
potentially money.
that doesn't, right, okay. I just wanted to be clear on how to execute it if we do it.
And Randy will tell us the law, but
So we would have maybe a joint meeting with them at some point when this gets decided,
Right.
for you all
No,
to
they can
vote?
make a recommendation.
right.
To the select board
To
to
the
vote?
select board.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Maybe we need to talk about that too, just to make sure.
Yeah, and
'cause I
Randy-
think Barb
Randy knows
thinks
the
she can do
legalities
it,
of it
you know?
all.
And I'm not sure either about that, so.
No, I don't
All
think
right.
I can.
So good, so someone will be there? Jane, right?
Yeah,
Someone?
I-
Okay.
I put it on my.
Right now, I
calendar.
think I can be there.
All right, so 3:30, July 1st, and we'll start that conversation. And that's kind of all I had. Thank you.
Perfect. Anybody have anything else?
Make a motion to close the meeting at 7:17? 18?
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye. Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.